Yes, that was the game between the Sunshine Stars of Akure and Nasarawa United in March the 8th. One of those games that was played in the course of the weekend. And we know that action continues today, March the 8th, in the Nigerian Premier Football League. On that note, I welcome you to the program Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. But before we look at the updates from the March the 8th games that are ongoing as we speak, let's go straight and start from the camp of the Flying Eagles, who are right there in Lomé, Togo, where the 2024 WAFU B Under 20 Championship is ongoing. We know that their first game in Group B against Burkina Faso, against the Stallions of Burkina Faso, it was a 1-0 loss to the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. So they are preparing for their second game against Côte d'Ivoire. That is the Junior Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire in their second game, and definitely they need that game. They need to get all maximum 3 points in that game if they are to progress into the next round. Nigeria is the defending champion of this particular tournament. The last edition, they won the last edition in Niger Republic, and they want to match that up and definitely qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. That is under 20 Africa Cup of Nations to be staged in South Africa. So for the updates we are getting from that camp, from the Flying Eagles camp in Lomé, is that the Flying Eagles, they had their first training session at the Omni Sports Stadium in Lomé. That is today, after they had a 1 full day resting, just to get themselves back up from that loss they suffered in the hands of Burkina Faso. They had their first training session after that defeat in the hand of the Stallions of Burkina Faso. So they will continue preparing for their second group game against Côte d'Ivoire. That is in their second group game. If they had to get anything out of that game, they just if they want to progress into the next round and win the title they won last, they just have to get it right. The morning session started at 8 a.m. This morning, and it climaxed it lasted for 2 hours. 2 hours training they had this morning, and then the coach and his assistants focused on further drilling the players tactically. All of the 20 players are in good shape, and they are ready to go in that particular game. So for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, they just need to get that win against Côte d'Ivoire if they want to progress into the next round, like I said. And then the team will train on Tuesday morning. The training continues tomorrow as part of preparation to tackle Côte d'Ivoire on Thursday. So they will continue their training session tomorrow, and 9 a.m. Nigerian time, 8 a.m. there, but 9 a.m. here. So that training will continue tomorrow prior to Wednesday, and then the big one, the do-or-die game against Côte d'Ivoire on Thursday. So for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, under the watchful eyes of Coach Aliu Zuberu, who is the coach of Academy Warriors, we want to get it right. Landon Boso, former coach of the side, actually offered some tips on how to beat Côte d'Ivoire in that game. So let's see definitely if the Flying Eagles will come good this time around and get the maximum win. So we are wishing them well to do well in that particular game against Côte d'Ivoire. All right, let's leave Lomé and come back home. Like I said, action continues in March the 8th, and it is what it is for Ikorodu City, the only community-based team, the only community-owned team playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Haven't seen live. They've started the season not the way they wanted it, but I think they are now making the Onikon Stadium in Lagos a fortress. So it's now becoming, after beating Bendel Insurance 3-0 in the last game they played at that particular stadium. They followed it up with a very wide margin, becoming the second team in the Nigerian Premier Football League to score 4 goals. They beat Lobby Stars, another strongly team, 4-2 just this afternoon. That game at the Unicon Stadium, 4-2. And as we speak, the game between Niger Tornadoes is on the 81 minutes. Rivers United is leading in that game. They are 1-0 up in that particular encounter. That is a Rivers United goal from Sophia Jackson in the 47 minutes. Against Niger Tornadoes. For Ikorodu City, like I said, they hammered another struggling side, Lobby Stars, 4-2. Taiwo, Solomon got another Solomon Alade got on the score sheet, and Ayemwere getting those goals. But for Lobby Stars, it was Assurance who got the 2 goals for Lobby Stars in that game. So the other games, Aqua United, Enugu Rangers is ongoing. 4 minutes of action in that game at the Nest of Champions. That is at the Eket Township Stadium, precisely in Akwa Ibom State, between Aqua United and Enugu Rangers. And then Shooting Stars of Ibadan, 3 minutes of action. Is also going against Katsina United. So those games are goalless, but for Rivers United, they are leading Niger Tornadoes 1-0 in that game. Ikorodu City, congratulations to them as they got that 3 points, all the 3 points at stake at the Unicon Stadium in Lagos. Daniel Omokachi, the Bull, will also coming to take over a struggling team, I believe, who will want to turn the fortunes of Lobby Stars around. But for Ikorodu City, they stood their ground, getting all 4 goals in that game against Lobby Stars. So I think the Nigerian Premier Football League is getting tougher and tougher. Teams can go away. We can see a lot of goals being scored in the Nigerian Premier Football League. In March the 7th, between Enugu Rangers and Kano Pillars, the Cathedral, it was a 7-goal thriller. All right, I have Sam Luka, I call him, joining on the show this evening. Sam, welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. Okay, I can barely hear you. If you can work on your audio from your end, I can barely hear you. For the Nigerian Premier Football League, like I said, it's getting interesting. Week in, week out, and we have seen that just the way match day 8 continues. Okay, Sam, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we looked at the Flying Eagles. We looked at what they had today. They had their training section after 1-day rest. They lost their first game, that is at the Wafubi Championship in Togolome, but they are looking to get all 3 points against Cote d'Ivoire on Thursday. So they had their first full training session today with all 20 players looking good.
Yeah, it's a good one for them after losing 1-0 to the Burkina Babes, or let's say Burkina Faso. To defend their championship, which they won last time out in Niger, they have to win their next match, which is on Thursday against the Ivorians. Missing out their defensive maestro in Daniel Daga is a big blow for them. But they have to pick up. They have to use other players to replace him. And of course, having their full training today and having a long time for them to rest, it will give them a morale booster for them to perform well at the second game. They need to win the next game for them to qualify for the next round of the championship.
Okay, they need to win their first game, and we had actually looked at the Nigerian Premier Football League. Matches are ongoing. Ikorodu City defeated Lobby Stars 4-2 at the Unicon Stadium this afternoon, and for Rivers United, they are 1-0 up against Niger Tornadoes at their new stadium in Mina. And for Enugu Rangers, Aqua United, the game is up and running. Same with Katsina United and Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Quickly, 1 or 2 about the Nigerian Premier Football League is a continuation of match day 8.
The matches are going on well, and it's a good result for City beating former champions Lobby Stars 4-2. And of course, league leaders Rivers United will want to maintain their record in the league by maintaining their lead. They are having presently on 18 points, I guess, or 17 or 18 points. A win for them in this match will cement their place in the log. So the matches are going well. For Aqua United, it's a tough game. much of a derby for them against Enugu Rangers. So it's a game that give out a good result for each team. Any team that comes out victorious in this game is a morale booster for them in their league and the coming matches.
Okay, morale booster for them, and in their coming matches, we will keep tabs before the end of the show on those games that are ongoing. Let's switch gear right now, go straight to Europe. Yes, it was a scare for Nigerians and for his fans, for his family, and football-loving Nigerians all over the world. And then in Germany for Victor Boniface, like I said, a scare after rescuing all 3 points for his team. He missed a penalty, but later on got on the score sheet. He was involved in an accident in the course of the weekend, but the good news that is coming in from Germany after all and all such this week, this past weekend, where it's a good news that Boniface to be back in action soon after that crash. We might just see him play. Maybe he might not be part of the Champions League game against a French team, Brest, but probably over the weekend we might see him play for his team again. Sam, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
It's a sad one for, of course, the Nigerian football world. He's a good player for them. He's an integral part of their team. And having him out injured through accident is a bad one. They have strong games coming up, most especially in the Champions League and of course in the weekend. But news coming out from their side is that he is fine. He just sustained a minor injury on his hands, and also the driver who was driving the car too is fine. So I believe with this news, it will give the team a good spirit. The fans will have something to cheer them up in the next coming matches.
Okay, the fans will have something to cheer for Victor Boniface. We thank God that nothing actually happened to him, just minor injury, but he is fine, and probably just for precautionary measure, he might be rested in the UEFA Champions League game. But in the course of the weekend, we might see him back to the pitch. All right, still looking at Bundesliga right now. Let's look at games that were played over the weekend in Bundesliga, and then we'll look at the table. Holstein Kiel, a newly promoted team, lost to Union Berlin 2-0. Wolfsburg 2 against Werder Bremen. Bayer Leverkusen beat Eintracht Frankfurt. That is the team of Victor Boniface 2-1. He got that winning goal for his side. And Borussia Mönchengladbach beat FC Heidenheim 3-2. Freiburg 3-1 against Augsburg. Hoffenheim same with same score line with Freiburg and Augsburg. They beat VfL Bochum 3-1, and Mainz 05 lost to RB Leipzig 2-0. Bayern Munich hammered VfB Stuttgart 4-0, and Borussia Dortmund beat St. Pauli 2-1 in that game. Let's look at the table quickly. Let's just have the table and see how it is after matches in match day 7. 17 points for Bayern Munich, who are at the top of the table. Leipzig also have 17 points, but goal difference. Freiburg is third with 15 points. Bayer Leverkusen now moved to 4th position with 14 points. Union Berlin also have 14 points on the 5th position. Eintracht Frankfurt, who lost to Bayer Leverkusen, 6th with 13 points. Borussia Dortmund is 7th with 13 points. And we have VfB Stuttgart, who also lost their game to Bayern Munich 4-0. They lost that game, occupying the 10th position with 9 points. And FC Heidenheim, who also lost, is on the 9th position. Borussia Mönchengladbach starts the second side with 9 points. Mainz 05, Wolfsburg, Hoffenheim, Augsburg, St. Pauli, Holstein Kiel, and VfL Bochum occupying the bottom with just 1 point. So I think for the German Bundesliga, it was a good weekend for all of the top teams. Sam. Okay, let's go straight to the Italian Serie A. There were games also in the Italian Serie A in the course of the weekend. Let's look at the result of the Italian League, where Ademola Lookman was substituted in their own game, but the coach has come out to defend his decision, that is Gasparini, for substituting Ademola Lookman in that game in Italian Serie A. Let's go straight to Italian Serie A right now and leave the German and Bundesliga. Let's look at the games. We have Como and Como playing 1-1 in that game. Genoa and Bologna also played a draw, 2-2 draw. AC Milan courtesy of Samuel Chukwueze goal, beat Udinese, who also have a Nigerian, that is Maduka Okoye, in between the sticks in that game. AC Milan beat Udinese 1-0. Juventus beat Lazio, team of Dele Bashiru, 1-0. Empoli lost to Napoli 1-0. And Lecce lost to Fiorentina 6-0, hammering in that game. We have Venezia, who lost to Atlanta 2-0. Like I said, Ademola Lookman was substituted early enough in that game. Cagliari beat Torino 3-2. And Roma lost to Inter Milan 1-0. Let's have the table of the Italian league. Napoli went back to the summit of the table, continue to hold on to that. Just 8 games. We cannot say what will happen at the end of the season. They have 19 points. Inter is second, just 2 points behind Napoli. They have 17 points. Juventus is third with 16 points. We have AC Milan 14. Fourth position with 14 points. Fiorentina is fifth with 13 points. Atlanta is 6th with 13 points. We have Lazio 7th with 13 points. We have Udinese on the 8th position with 13 points. Torino on the 9th position with 11 points. And Roma occupies the first side of the table with 10 points on the 10th position. 10-10 for Roma. We have Empoli starting the second side with 10 points. We have Hellas Verona 12 with 9 points. Bologna 13 with 9 points. Como 1907, the team of Cesc Fabregas, is on the 14th position with 9 points. And Cagliari 15 with 9 points. And Venezia remains at the bottom of the table alongside Monza, Lecce 4 points. Both Monza and Venezia and Lecce having 5 points in the Italian Serie A. What do you make of the weekend in the Italian Serie A, Samuel?
Tough games at the weekend for the top teams at the summit of the table. Inter managing a 1-0 victory against Roma. So also AC Milan against Udinese. Man of the match performance by our boy there, Samuel Chukwueze. And of course, Fiorentina hammering Lecce 6-0. It was an interesting game. I glued to my television because of the kind of football Fiorentina were playing yesterday. So, and it's a good game. Napoli maintaining their lead at the top of the table. Our boy is not there, but they are trying to prove us wrong that but going by their playing style, it is a good one for them. So I believe coming weekends we are going to experience furthermore good football from the Italian Serie A.
Okay, let's now go straight to the French Ligue 1. We'll just look at the result quickly and then the table, and we'll move to the league games that will be played today. Monaco lost to Luxley 1-0. Brest won against Rennes. They lost 2-1 in that game. Saint-Etienne and Lens played a goalless draw. PSG beat Strasbourg 4-0. Le Havre lost to Olympique Lyonnais 1-0 in that game, and Auxerre and Reims in an 8-goal thriller 6-2 against Auxerre. Nantes star for Nantes to Nice they lost 1-2 to Nice, and Toulouse and against 2-1 against Toulouse. Montpellier and Olympique Marseille 1-0 against Montpellier in that game. Let's just have the table quickly and then we'll look at the league fixtures for today. PSG remains at the top of the league with 20 points. Yes, Monaco also have 20 points, but goal difference separating those two teams. Strasbourg is 10th with 10 points. And then let's go to the flip side of it quickly. We have Brest starting the flip side with 10 points, and Montpellier is on the 18th position with 4 points. Let's look at games that will be coming up tonight. We have one game in the English Premier League. That is Nottingham Forest will be in action tonight against Crystal Palace. And then we have Valencia against Las Palmas in La Liga. Hellas Verona against Monza. That is the Italian Serie A. Okay, let's quickly look at Samuel. If you are there, just okay. Let's go straight to Arsenal. Let's look at this story quickly, and then we'll just look at tennis before we go on the show because we're out of time, according to my director. Arsenal to table loan offer for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic. Let's see if that will go through in January. Then the last story this evening. In tennis, yes, it's a good news. She was pushing and eventually she got what she asked for. That is Sabalenka now topples world number 1 Iga Swiatek on the women's WTA ranking just released this afternoon. So we now have Arina Sabalenka as world number 1 when it comes to the women's tennis in the world. All right, that is why we'll be leaving it on the show this evening. Thanks, Samuel, for joining up on the show. It's good one having you on Sports Update.
It's good to be on the show again.
That is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Say thanks for watching.